Hello, this is video 2 for Chapter 2, Section 2, Math0302, Beginning Algebra. We're going to start working with actually solving equations. Practice 1 says to solve and check each of the following. We have x plus 3 equals negative 5. Now, basically we need to get the x by itself. What we need to do is we need to get rid of this plus 3. What's the opposite of 3? That's negative 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add negative 3 to both sides here. Now, normally what you're going to see me do is just write it underneath it like this. That's fine. If you want to, you can write it as x plus 3 and then minus 3 right next to it is equal to negative 5 minus 3 if you don't like that. Okay, so either one of these is fine. I'm going to be writing stuff down like this. So we have 3 minus 3. What is 3 minus 3? Well, that's 0. So that's going to give me x plus 0, but we don't write down plus 0, is equal to negative 5 minus 3. And negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. We add them because they're the same sign, and then we keep the sign. Now, I'm going to take this negative 8 and plug it into the original problem just to make sure that this is the solution. So it's going to give me negative 8 plus 3 equals negative 5. Then I'm going to simplify. Negative 8 plus 3, they're opposite signs, so we subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8's larger, so we get a negative. Does negative 5 equal negative 5? Yes. Therefore, this is the solution. Now, because of that, I'm going to put this in curly brackets. There we go. Now, one thing about the curly brackets, try to make them look something like this. Do not do this. That's not curly brackets, that's just squiggles. And don't do this either. That's a 3 and a backwards 3. This is not good either. Try to do this. At least try. If you fail, that's fine, but try. Okay. Now, the next one is y minus 0.3 equals negative 0.21. The same thing is happening here. We have a variable, and then plus or minus a number is equal to another number. I need to get the y in this case by itself. That means I need to get rid of the negative 0.3. Now, what's the opposite of 0.3? Excuse me, what's the opposite of negative 0.3? Well, that's positive 0.3. So I'm going to add 0.3 to both sides. Now notice that because of this, I have to add with the decimals lined up. Now notice that over here that becomes 0, that goes away. So that's going to give me y is equal to, and over here negative 0.21 plus 0.3, they're opposite signs, so we subtract. 1 minus 3, I can't do. So borrow 1 from here, bring that 1 down here. So 11 minus 3 is 8, and then 1 minus 0 is 1, and notice that the decimal must go there. Now the largest of the two was negative, so this is a negative 1.8. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite that just to make it look a little bit better. We want to check to make sure that this is true. So I'm going to plug this negative 1.8 back into here. That's going to give me negative 1.8 minus 0.3 is equal to negative 2.1. Now again, I need to add these. So negative 1.8 minus 0.3 up and down with the decimals lined up gives me 8 plus 3 is 11, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 with the decimal right here. So it's negative 2.1. That gives me negative 2.1 is equal to negative 2.1. That checks out. Therefore, this is your solution set.